I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry to our Facebook viewers. Thank God we didn't have anybody on yet. It was like,
come on. I knew what I was doing, actually. Strangely enough. I often, what is the statement? I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm a dangerous man when I don't know what I'm doing, or something along those lines.
Something. Hopefully people can hear us. We're trying a new microphone.
We're trying a new microphone, so let us know if you can hear us or not. If all we're doing is lip syncing to your then I'm sorry. But but it is Monday. And it's 8:00, and if it's Monday at 8:00, then it's Mighty Monkeys Nerd World News. And I am your host. My name is Tanya. It's nice to meet you. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah. Just saying hi and sharing because of spoilers. I hear you. Okay, so Jason and Melanie. Okay, so yes, you can hear us just fine. It is a new microphone, so we're just trying things out. Let us know if it's any different than in the past. I actually spent money on a really nice mic. So
I know it's very, very nice.
Don't touch it. You're touching it. You're making it. Stop it, because then she's going to start licking it.
And then the dog is sniffing it.
Yes. All right. Real quick, a friend of ours, a very dear person in our lives who will remain nameless, is having a very special day today. And if they were a little bit more amenable to that sort of thing, then we would sing
a celebratory song.
A celebratory song appropriate for such a day.
Yes.
For this particular person who shall again remain nameless, but is probably watching somewhere along the line.
Or sometime.
And so we just want to let you know that we're thinking about you and that we love you, and we're wishing you very well on this amazing day that you are not sharing with anybody because you don't like that sort of publicity. You know who you are.
Yes.
And so does my left shoulder. How you doing, Peter? It's good to see you, man.
Well, if that wasn't on the nose.
Shush. Shush.
I'm gonna get text messages.
So, what are we doing tonight, Tanya?
We are gonna talk Marvels tonight.
We're talking about the Marvels tonight.
I warned them. I totally warned them in regards to the title of tonight.
That's not fair to you. There we go.
The title of tonight, that there was going to be spoilers, that if they didn't want to hang out, to stop, go watch the movie, then come back and watch this one. Or if you don't mind spoilers, I'm like, because like Randy doesn't mind spoilers. Right. He'll still go watch the movie whatsoever. So if you don't mind spoilers and you just want to hear our take on it,
right,
it's going to happen. But
yeah, and Peter, we are also going to brush past a little bit of Doctor Who. However, I really don't want to talk about it until after I've actually seen it, because, well, here's the thing.
You're going to talk about something anyway.
People were asking me why I did not do the Doctor Who panel at FC3 this year, and why I have been avoiding talking about Doctor Who up until this point. The reason I didn't do the panel was because the schedule was pretty cramped and I didn't have a place for it. So legitimately something had to go, and it was a very hard decision. I did not like it. I didn't feel comfortable with it, but I did it anyway. I am not talking about anything with the 60th anniversary because it's all been talked about already. You can go onto YouTube and see several different opinions from several different angles. Everybody's excited. I'm excited. I am stoked to see what's going to happen.
Talk about you're excited. My kid keeps telling me he's got like kind of like a countdown going on in his
older
head.
One.
The older one, because he tells you.
Yeah, he tells me
every time he
sees me, he has a countdown.
It's the 25th. So,
I am excited to see Doctor Who. I am. I just don't want to talk about it because I've also seen the Trolls.
Ooh. We'll see Trolls.
We're going to be talking about Trolls later. That fits into something.
And they seem to regenerate.
Oh, Trolls are eternal.
Yeah, we have to cut off their head and burn them. That's what you do.
See, that's a nice supernatural reference. I like that. Salt and burn.
Also,
salt and burn.
Salt and burn, but it's also if those that play Dungeons and Dragons,
right?
You cut off the head and you have to burn a troll because they regenerate their wounds.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Peter, you and I on Nerd World News are probably going to talk about a lot about Doctor Who coming up very shortly, but just that's about it tonight. Although it's from what I was seeing earlier today on a quick interview between with Russell T Davies and David Tennant, the 3 episodes that are making up the early part of the 60th anniversary special that came like that. Anyway,
sorry.
yeah.
Distracted by the desk.
That's fine. Bring attention to all the little flaws in my room. I see how it is with you.
She's down there.
The three episodes are actually not related as a story arc. They are sort of independent stories revolving around this 14th Doctor being played by David Tennant. So
because he wasn't ready to go yet.
Well, apparently
he still had some unfinished business. What?
These are things that are going to be talked about and discovered over the next few weeks.
And I haven't been reading anything, looking at anything in regards to Doctor Who, because I just want to go in and enjoy it without having anything in the background.
I like the picture in picture. It's kind of
I do like the picture in picture. Cool. It's kind of cool.
So the Marvels.
Oh my God.
The Marvels being, and this is the cast poster, the main cast poster with Iman Vellani, Brie Larson, and Teyonah Parris, who compromised Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, and the unnamed, but is identified in the comics as the superhero Photon. Monica Rambeau. Okay. What can we say that hasn't been said already? It is a box office bomb.
Right.
Which is weird to say because of the amount of money that is brought in. But here, let's flip the negativity on its head real quick. It is the worst producing MCU movie at the box office to date. However, worldwide, it did quite well because
just the diversity.
Yeah, the diversity in it. Yeah. But let us focus on the fact that it was directed by an African American woman, and it is the highest grossing movie ever directed by an African American woman. Okay, so let's put it on a positive there. All right, and
you also have to acknowledge that the actor strike ended November 9th.
Yeah, the actor strike was definitely a thing.
Came out the 10th,
and so there was a hindrance in the publicity campaign, right? They didn't I think they could have marketed it more of a family movie because it really did feel like a family movie rather than just a regular good old fashioned superhero movie.
Right. Yes. I wouldn't rank it up there with like the Iron Man and the action like type thing. But you could see the emotions and the uncertainty of all the characters trying to work with each other and know things, and I think it brought like a level of like just the ability to I'm trying to figure out the word
the development of character,
just the sense of
found family,
like a knowing that you can relate to it. That's what it is. That you can relate
to connect to the material,
connect to the characters, because you probably have gone through something similar, like the uncertainty of knowing how to do something or knowing that something has been your fault and that you've have sat on it for so long, and it's just the guilt's been eating away at you. So
the weird thing is too is and we've talked about it, and I plan on doing an essay about it in a near future episode of Nerd World News. The sheer toxicity of quote unquote fans, people who claim to love the material but hate everything about it. And I was noticing, I think I couldn't help but notice, and I'm sure you have as well, just the level of toxicity. And people were killing this movie before it was even made. People were talking about, oh, this is going to be garbage. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be weak. It's going to be this. It's going to be. They were killing it, and the movie hadn't even gone into production yet. And then there was like, well, they're having problems behind the scenes. The three leads aren't getting along. And you see all these behind the scenes pictures of the three of them like cuddling up to each other and laughing and having a great time and going out. Oh, well, they're actors. They're supposed to make it look like they're having fun. You know what? We're all old enough and we're all cynical enough, and we've been through enough in these past few years. When somebody's being genuine and when somebody's on the job, right? For instance, who was in The Notebook? Was Ryan Gosling, and I can't think of the actress's name.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
oh God, I can see your face too. But anyway, regardless of that, um, the two of them did not like each other. This was well documented. They talked about it behind the scenes often. They put their best foot forward to put together this wonderfully romantic movie. But on the press tours, they went alone. They went separately. When they were together, they looked very stiff. They're like, oh yeah, we're really good. Sure, they had professional chemistry, but there was no personal chemistry between the two of them. And they put the good foot forward, but you could just tell that the two of Rachel McAdams, you could tell that the two of them were not the best of friends, as opposed to Iman Vellani treating Brie Larson like Brie is her big sister, and they can't wait to be around each other. They go to plays together. They're going they go on red carpets together. They're just having a freaking blast together.
Well, just looking at Marvel movies in general, not looking at just this one, but if you look at the Marvel movies in general, and then you look at some of the behind the scenes stuff, they're having a freaking blast.
And the movie shows it too. For those of you who actually watched the movie, and we're going to be dipping into spoiler territory fairly soon, just to let you know ahead of time. For those of you who watched the movie, it is a hell of a lot of fun. Sure, there are some plot holes and there's some flaws in it. Show me a movie that's perfect that doesn't include The Princess Bride, because that is a perfect movie. All of them have flaws. Even Iron Man 1, which I thought was a fantastic movie, and got the whole franchise really kind of moving along in the right direction. Even that has flaws. So this is just, I'm pissed off because this movie deserves better. And there's this kid who's reviewing on Twitch and X, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it this week, and YouTube, and he wrote an article saying that The Marvels was the worst movie ever created in film history. And I'm like, where the balls do you get off saying that? I disagree heartily.
I am going to respectfully disagree.
No, I'm not going to. I'm just
I am going to say that is any of the Monty Python movies.
Oh, see, right there. Now, I went to the kid and I jumped on the thread with 1,000 of other people who were joining in with that particular conversation. I said, this guy's obviously not watched a lot of movies, because there's a ton of them that suck. I mean, Manos, The Hands of Fate comes to mind. Plan 9 from Outer Space, if you want to go classics. But anything directed by Yui Boll is horrible. Ishtar, Ellen Quartermain, and Lost Cities of Gold. If you can call yourself a reviewer, and you have not watched a lot of different movies, if you've not watched a lot of different genres from different eras, and as I researched this kid's work, it was very clear to me he hasn't, then you don't get to make that declaration. 1, it's cruel. 2, it's false. It's terribly false. Did we watch the same movie? I don't think so. I don't even think he freaking watched it. As I was reading his review, it was very clear that he was just gleaning things off of what other people were saying, and maybe some trailer clips. Yeah.
Hey,
Sticks Boy.
Not everyone's going to like it. That's fine.
I'm not saying you have to agree with me.
Right.
But why do you have to be so toxic about disagreeing?
Right, because I personally loved it because I could actually have a connection with the characters and things like that. I recommended that my parents go see it because they like a lot of different movies. I talked to them whatever day that they watched the movie, and they were coming out, and they're like, I said, so? And my mom's like, well, yeah. Like, she was hesitant to say anything. She's like, I didn't like it as well as you did.
Well, did she say why?
Well, she wasn't thrilled with the singing part, with that.
It was supposed to be silly, though.
Right. But I think not knowing or not watching a lot of the Marvel movies or things like that, I thought that this could have been a standalone movie for those that don't whatever. But if you don't have any background information on Ms. Marvel or have watched WandaVision or whatever to see how the characters have worked together or gotten to that point, then yeah, you probably will be a little lost and you probably won't like it. But they thought they love the little Flurkins.
Yes.
All the Flurkins. Nice. And I mean, she's like, yeah, they like some of the bits and pieces of it, but
Right.
it wasn't something that they're going to go, yeah, we're going back to watch it type thing. But they didn't walk out of it. They walked out of, I want to say they walked out of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, but that's the
right.
thing.
But so
Pulp Fiction is easy to walk out of. It's not a fantastic movie. It's interesting
other movies, but they didn't walk out of this one. So,
all right. So right off the top, I'm going to do a score out of 10 for what I thought of the Marvels, and then when I give you my score, I'm going to ask you for you to share your thoughts on a score, and just so you know how much we enjoyed the movie, and then we're going to dip heartily into spoiler territory. So if you're watching us live right now, you haven't seen the movie, you're interested in seeing the movie, we're going to give you a recommendation of what we think you should, whether you should go see it or not. And then we're going to dip into spoiler territory. You can take off, go see the movie, and then catch it, as Andy Mertzke would say, on the West Coast feed, down the road after you've had a chance to watch it. And the thing is, and Sticks Boy said that connection is what loses audience. They haven't watched the last 20 years of MCU. At this point, there is a lot of it. But that's also a comic book collector's lament, is that there are so many different titles covering so many different characters. You just kind of pick and choose at this point to see what you want to watch and what might be interesting to you. But because here's the thing. And then I'm going to jump into what I was saying just a moment ago. How do I want to form this sentence?
I know.
If you're not prepared to put that investment in to just prepare yourself for a particular piece, all right, you don't want to watch Ms. Marvel, which in my opinion was a delightful series. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I have my comments about Iman Vellani in a little bit. You don't want to watch WandaVision. You don't want to watch any of that. And then don't watch the Marvels. That's fine. I respect your decision to say, you know what? That's not for me. I'm not going to put that time. I'm not going to put that investment in. Or these characters do not interest me. Okay. I can actually respect that criticism. These characters do not interest me. Okay, cool. But if your next sentence, so it's all fucking garbage. This is the worst movie ever made. This is what a waste of time. They're destroying the MCU. You know what? That's where you're wrong. And that's where I'm going to say, shut up. Bite me. Whatever the case may be. That visceral reaction is what's driving me insane. And it's not just about MCU and the Marvels. I see it in Star Wars. I see it in Star Trek. I see it in Doctor Who. I see it in this is another reason why I don't involve myself in a lot of fandoms anymore, which is weird for a con director to say.
And this is a whole nother.
There's a whole talk going on.
No, whole nother TED talk that's going to be happening about toxicity in fandoms, and he's going to jump on it.
Yes, but it's so easy to dabble with that conversation piece.
And if you are not into these characters, you can say, "So I'm not going to go see the movie,"
right?
Type thing. It's like I played Barbies as a child. I had the Barbie dream house. I had the car. I had the van. I had the pool. I was a spoiled single only child, that type of thing.
You were spoiled? I could never tell that about you.
Yeah. But I had no interest in going to see the Barbie movie.
Okay, why not? Just like curious.
I just was looking at it. I just all the trailers and things. They just was giving me kind of like the cheesy vibes and you know how much I hate the cheesiness of certain
I think that's what turned you off to the whole musical number in the Marvels. Because it is deliberately and a little bit on the cheesy side. It was supposed to be. Right. It was intentionally that.
But like when
you keep going backwards.
I know I was gonna when Margot Robbie floats down from the top of the dream house. I think it was like just too much on the nose about the little girl would pick up their Barbie and then take them from the second floor and put them down to the first floor.
Yeah, that's clever. I didn't even pick up that observation. That's amazing. Nicely done.
I just put that together.
Well, you're just that smart. That's why.
Well, that's okay.
It's warm in here today.
So that was just me, and there's just certain things I don't like or I don't get or understand. Just like I don't necessarily understand the humor of Monty Python.
Right.
And it's just not me. And I'm going to go over here and read rather than go do that.
That's fine.
But I might take shots at it only out of good natured fun, but I wouldn't say that it effing sucks or anything like type thing. However, I was quoting the movie today at school because one of my students said that he's never seen it. And then the other one was saying they did see it. And they were talking about the rabbit. I'm like, behind the rabbit, it is the rabbit type thing. And they're like, and he goes, it's just a flesh. I'm like, you're not dead yet. And he goes, it's just the flesh. They're like, so you'd be proud of me in that regards today.
You're correct.
But yeah.
So, and here we go. We're going to dip into spoiler territory now. We're going to talk about the story itself. The crux of the story were the three mains, Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Photon. They all have a power set. Their power sets are slightly different from each other, but they're all kind of rooted in the same type of light energy system. Mm-hmm. And so a series of events caused them to be entangled unknowingly. And now what it did is it finally forced a reunion between Monica and Carol, Photon and Captain Marvel, because they hadn't seen each other in such a long, long time. And so there was some great dynamic there as they tried to kind of deal with the fact that, like, Monica wasn't necessarily mad at Carol. She was happy to see her, but there was a lot of unresolved feelings of abandonment because she hadn't seen her in so long. And, you know, her mother had passed and everything. Hey, Michael. And then there's Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, who gets just swept up in all of this.
And she idolizes
Carol. And so there's this there, and they didn't, in my opinion, they did not do it over the top. It was not an over the top, worship thing. But and let me just say, Iman Vellani, her first acting job ever as a professional actress has been Ms. Marvel in the MCU. This young lady is so pure and so genuine. I absolutely adore her. I loved Ms. Marvel just because I loved watching her on screen.
And I know
she really was the heart of the movie, in my opinion.
And I know you've said it on occasion, but just like some of her reactions is that,
yes,
I see Juliana, and you have said that. I said
Iman Vellani is a Pakistani version of my daughter. She really, and the long, thick, dark hair, the pure smile, the genuine just joy, and you can just feel everything.
The giddiness.
And in the giddiness, she brought such a major component to the team, to the movie. She was the heart and soul of it, and she helped bring those other two together. If the story is like for D&D players, your party ends up being a found family, right? So these three become a found family, and I have a feeling that a lot of it was because of Kamala Khan's presence in the triumvirate of Monica, Carol, and Kamala. Jeff, good evening, Jeff. Good to see you, buddy. You saw it opening weekend and loved it. Tanya and I saw it opening weekend also.
Yeah, we
had a freaking blast. I personally cannot wait to see this movie. Now, I know I promised a numeric, and I just brushed right past that. I'm giving the movie an 8 out of 10 right off the bat.
I was going to go 8.5.
8.5. I want to see it again. It's a comfort movie. It's like Deanna pointed out. Sometimes you check your brain at the door when it comes to watching movie franchises. It's a check your brain at the door. It's a fun movie. There is some deep parts. There are some thinky parts. There's some touching, empathic, family parts that I thought were amazing. What we got here? Iman is so cute as Ms. Marvel. I pray to Ganesha that she'll be a guest at FC3 next year. Now,
okay, we need to win the Powerball.
Oh my God, we would need to win the Powerball to bring her in.
And we need a bigger venue.
We did bring in her wingman from the series, Matt Lintz.
Yes.
Came in. He played Bruno in the series.
And we're talking about Bruno.
And we were talking about Bruno because we could talk about Bruno in this case. And young Mr. Lintz, it was a second time at an FC3, and he's just a class act. I love that kid so much. He's like a little brother that I have never had.
So are we awesome. 2 degrees to?
Yeah, we're 2 degrees away from the Marvels at this point because he's met them all.
He's met all of
There's a rumor that he was actually in a cut scene. A deleted scene.
So we're 2 degrees to that picture, to that
all
whole,
of them,
to the whole Marvel. Well, we're 2 degrees to most of the Marvel cast through Michael
to begin with, exactly. So
yeah.
So yes, look at these ladies.
You do
look at them.
Picture in picture.
We'll do picture in picture. How do I do that again? Where's that one? This one?
Yes.
Boom! There we go.
Okay, much better.
Look at these girls. They're amazing. They're amazing. And then there's the idiot right there saying that they're all garbage. Never mind. We're not gonna. Wait. Away, troll! You have no power here.
Yeah, no kidding. So
FC3 is the 4th Marvel. Aw, thank you, Sticks. I love that. That's awesome.
So
that is awesome. But you know, and I think, and it's because she's made such an impact on me as a fan, as a father. I'm like, I want to take her and be like, this is my daughter, Kamala Khan. I'm gonna love her,
Mhm.
you know, protect her with all my might. But just Brie Larson is an incredibly talented actress, and people who think she has no range of emotion and no capacity for acting, as I saw one troll mention, needs to count how many Oscars she has compared to the troll saying she has no acting skill. She's got you beat there, asshole. Just saying. And Teyonah Parris, I watched her all the way through Scarlet Witch, WandaVision, you know, that series, and now in this movie, The Marvels. I all three of them, all three actresses were fantastic. They brought a great depth to the part. They brought a great you know, pathos, empathy. They brought a great emotion to the moments that needed to be emotive, and a quiet. They were never over the top when they needed to be, just kind of let the moment happen. And I just thought that was a great dynamic between the three of them. And you cannot just make that happen. You cannot just force that. You know, that's chemistry. That is professionalism, and I thought they were fantastic. Underthebridge.net is where the trolls live.
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
love it. I love it. You just got a text and you giggled at it. What was that all about?
I don't think it's something that I can read out loud.
I've already dropped a couple of F-bombs, so.
No, I don't know, because it's a
Oh,
big time potential spoilers.
It's a spoiler for something else, and we will share it to you when we can.
Yes, when we can. After it can.
That's
amazing. I can't do it now, so.
No. YouTube is where the trolls live. Jason, I have to tell you, the trolls live. They are resplendent across all of social media.
As we said, we're going to cut off their
hellscape
heads
that used to be called Twitter, now X. That's a hellscape. So anyway, and then you had Samuel L. Jackson show up as Nick Fury, and he kind of did a really good job of holding things together while the three of them came together as
trying to
unit.
work right.
There was some great moments with the cast that played Kamala's family. Her mother, father, and older brother. They were so fun to watch.
Just the opening fight scenes where they were bouncing back and forth from whatever, and they're like, the
mother just kept getting more and more exasperated.
And when when Captain Marvel, now these are the spoilers.
Yes.
When Captain Marvel arrives on Earth through the closet.
Yes.
And then it's looking at Kamala's
her fan
wall, things like that, and looking at whatever and going,
oh damn.
Yeah. And then go downstairs, and they're like, and the family's like, huh?
Why are you here? And she's like, hi, just walking through. They're like, no, get yourself back.
Then she gets outside and takes off, and then they just start popping in and things like that, and her brother, and then her family, and how her family is so worried for her throughout the whole time. But
and you know, now the impetus of the story, that which was bringing them together, was somebody who was fashioning themselves to be an accuser. I don't remember the character's name. Darben. Thank you. You know, from the planet of Hala, which we've seen in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
The Kree.
Kree, exactly. Apparently what had happened, again, spoiler territory, you know, at the end of Captain Marvel, the first movie, Carol makes it very clear that she's going to go and destroy the Great Intelligence because, well, she felt that was the appropriate thing to do
at the time.
Not foreseeing that she actually, you see in flashbacks, she did destroy the Great Intelligence, and the backlash and repercussions it created through the planet of Hala was amazing. It created essentially an apocalypse to the point where Captain Marvel, among the Kree, has the nickname the Annihilator, and it wasn't a pleasant nickname.
No.
So Darben is trying to fashion herself as an accuser to gain the power back. She's trying to restore Hala. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hala. And
the world, and she's just going about it on the wrong path.
Well, she's being vengeful. She's going after what was important to Captain Marvel as revenge for what Captain Marvel did to them. And so this is kind of what caused a lot of the events to go into motion. What do we want to say about Dar-Benn? Was she a strong villain?
I don't think she was a super strong villain.
No,
Now,
she was kind
I
of.
think maybe that was like one of the plot flaws.
Yes.
Is that they had to rely on the universal weapon
Right.
for it. And
to me, it really felt like Dar-Benn was more of a set piece to help tell the story of the three of them coming together rather than being an actual antagonist foil for for the actual story.
Right. I mean, she was the antagonist for Captain Marvel because she was pissed off at Captain Marvel.
Right.
And she was going to do everything in her power that she possibly could in order to take out everything from Captain Marvel cared for. But I don't know. I just thinking with that weapon that she had and things like that, she could have done a little bit more with it.
Yeah.
Or that just my thought that I was like,
you know, it felt like Dar-Benn, of all the really the juicy MCU villains over the years, it really felt that Dar-Benn was your almost stereotypical classic movie reel, twirling the mustache, I'll get you, Dan Backslide, that kind of villain. You know, like, what was the real point? Oh, you're just there to piss everybody off. Gotcha.
Or Sticks Boy points
sometimes villains are just to move the story along and not to instill hatred in the audience. Yeah, and I really feel like that was the case. Dar-Benn was more of a vehicle to tell the story of the three, to keep the story moving forward.
And why
and that's a great point, Sticks. Thank you. You know.
So
now, one of the caveats of this entanglement of their powers is that whenever they were using their powers at the same time, the girls would end up switching places with each other.
That was hysterical.
And it was really, I mean, it was chaotic at first, but then they had this great montage where they're training themselves.
That's
how
like one of my favorite parts.
I loved that scene.
That was one of my favorite parts, and they were all trying to catch the ball and whatever, things like that, juggle, and
balancing the books on their head,
right, and then changing places, and then having the books stay there.
Yeah.
And then
it was clever as hell,
and you can just feel the emotion from Monica, where she finally said, "You never came back."
Right.
You never came back.
The three of them were connecting, and then so that allowed them to get an opportunity. There's a great scene where they're actually sharing memories through a couple of gadgets, and you see kind of what's really underlying, stuff going on in Carol's mind and Monica's mind. So they were able to share and kind of like start opening up to each other. And, and again, the trolls are like, oh, touchy-feely. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we not in a time and place where it's okay to be in touch with your emotions?
Absolutely.
It's allowed. Was it a Rocky training sequence with the song "You're the Best"? No, but pretty close. It was the same kind of similar vibe to it. And it was funny. I don't know if you picked up on it or not, but just towards the big climax of the movie, a series of events happen and the entanglement finally separates. They're getting close to the end. The climax is happening.
Disappointed that they were not entangled anymore.
Yeah.
What do you mean
they tell
that
Kamala and Monica tell Carol, well, yeah, no, everything's disconnected. Where the three of us aren't connected anymore. And Carol looked at her fist and she's like, oh, and it wasn't like it wasn't like, oh, okay. It was more like, oh, I'm disappointed. I was really getting used to that. That felt like a good part to be a part of.
Right, because I think
it was so cute to see that
she had pushed everyone aside.
Yes, she
pushed because she.
I am the most powerful being, therefore I have to do everything solo.
Or the fact that she was labeled as the annihilator, and she didn't want that to come back and be that's who she was, because that's who she felt she was because of that happened, and she didn't want to bring that taint back.
Right.
That she was a bad person.
Right,
I mean, because she was dealing with her emotions at the time when she took care of the great intelligence or whatever on Hala or whatever it is.
Planet Bob.
Yeah, the Kree homeworld.
Yes. That's a good way to do it.
That she was still trying. I'm like, because she was kind of like a newborn regards to it, you know, like a newborn toddler teen in getting her powers throughout the Captain Marvel movie. And then at the end of the Captain Marvel movie, she said she's going to go do this, and she goes off and does this, and then other things happen, and in
Hi, Dan.
and then in
how's Florida, Mr. President?
Endgame, she was saving other worlds,
Right?
You know what I mean? So she was all, they're like, there's just one of me. You've got whatever. When she was talking to Thor, but she has had what, 20 some odd years.
Oh, more than that, 30 at this point. Because remember,
because it was the 90s.
Yeah, Captain Marvel was set in the early 90s, and now here we are in the early 2020s. So that's a good 30 years that she's been Captain Marvel.
Right.
Carol Danvers has.
So now, yes. So, but she hasn't acknowledged the emotions. She has not.
She hasn't
taken responsibility or accountability for what everything that she's did.
She has this godlike power, but she's not acknowledging her own humanity. And this is this opportunity to finally break through that barrier and say, yes, I can crack a joke. I can be part of a team. I can be part of a family.
Because she didn't know how to be part of a family.
Right. And Kamala and Monica taught her how to do it. Mainly Kamala. I'm giving all the points to Kamala because I love her so much. Hextane version of my daughter. I'm serious. But, you know, and so, yes, is the story perfect? No. It does it have some moments of silliness? Yes. That's why I think what makes it a great comic book movie is the fact that it's more adherent to a comic book vibe than some of the other movies that are out there, you know, and I wish the movie had done better. I really do. I wish that the trolls had just shut up long enough for people to actually enjoy a thing. That's the thing, is you can disagree with me all you want. I don't mind that. But when you start yucking on other people's yum, as the saying goes these days, it's like, you know, when you start saying, oh, you're dumb for liking it, you know, screw you, dude. Really. You know, I saw a guy today. It crystallized every problem I have with what most of the trolls are saying lately. The guy's quote, isn't it enough time? Haven't we spent enough time letting the women take over the MCU? I'm like, oh boy, do you not get it? Did you not understand it? Right? I mean, it's like, why? I would love to have seen the Marvels do better. I would like to think that once it hits streaming, that it's going to go through the ceiling because people are going to just want to watch it over and over and over and over and over again. Okay.
So on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
The tomato meter from the critics is 62%.
Which is not bad for an MCU movie.
Audience score, 83%.
I mean, come on.
Read audience reviews. So let's... Really fun movie. Fight scenes are so well choreographed, and Iman Vellani is a delight. Absolutely.
Right.
Agree.
Right?
That one I can't read. It's in French.
Yeah, no, I can't read
But
French.
then, so that there was the first one was a 5. It says, John says, sad, poorly imagined, and lacking any cohesion, not much fun.
How are you not seeing how do you see that as lacking cohesion? The story had a beginning, a middle, and an end. It was definitely, you could see the flow on how that worked. I don't know. We were not watching the same movie, I guess. I don't get it.
Another 1.5 stars.
But that was a more constructive criticism. I'll give John credit. That was a more constructive criticism. It was just hot garbage because of this. You know, whatever.
It says movie was boring, bad CGI, and the only good things about it was Nick Fury's comeback to the cinema and the cats. Out of that, the movie was boring. The main characters and the villain are a perfect representation of what's wrong with the MCU today.
That's terrible. That's a terrible review.
The
cats were the bad CGI, but liked the cats.
I love the cats.
The cats were hilarious. It was a creative use of the cats too. By the way,
I always look forward in watching the Marvel movies. It was not a Marvel movie. Disney has ruined our Marvel movies. Yes, Jason, I didn't actually pay the $12 to see it, but I'm planning on seeing it a second time. I have the
answer is yes, Jason. That's it. The answer to your question is yes. We would pay to see it again.
I know. I love the cat scene. That was like the best thing. And I had thought of that when they were trying to figure out, when we finally figured out that all those alien things,
Yeah,
where
the
the
eggs.
cat eggs
Yes.
type. So I'm almost like, why can't they use the flurkins
with the movie, with the soundtrack from
And
the
then
musical
herding
cats in the background,
and they're
while the whole
herding cats?
oh, it was the best.
That's I laughed because
absolutely
I'm like, wow, they're actually herding cats.
Yep.
Can you know how hard that is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But yes, Jason, would you pay $12 to see it again before it gets pushed to Disney Plus? Yes.
Okay, here's one that I really enjoyed the movie. The characters interacted well. Only concern was that the ending seemed a little rushed. 5 more minutes would have been a nice to flesh out the ending.
Not bad. No, I can work with that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rum Tum Tugger versus the Cree.
Sounds like someone else says amazing film, a little sappy but intriguing movie. Thanks for the great experience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So feel free to share your thoughts with us. Leave comments. I think, did we talk about going again this weekend?
We were talking
at our gaming group the other
yes, night? Our gaming group wants to go see it because some haven't seen it yet, and some I'm like, well, I want to see it again. And one of our gaming is like, pick me, I want to see it again.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
So we have to figure out when if people are working on Friday or Saturday, we go Friday night, Saturday, that type of thing. But yes, I want to see it before I go back to work next Monday. I want to see it this week.
I do too.
So
I do too. Let us know if you want to go with us. We'll let you know what theater we're going to be at and when, maybe, who knows. So yeah, that's our we've done 40 minutes, and that I think that's like half the length of the movie. Actually, we just spent half the length of the movie talking about the movie
and didn't give away too much.
Oh, we gave away a chunk.
Yeah, well,
but we warned people. Spoilers was a thing. So
like, subscribe, and hit follow to get more FC3 and Nerd World news. Hey, yeah,
not a bad idea.
Thanks.
You can find us on Twitch. You can find us on YouTube. You can like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, like us on Twitter, like us, or follow us wherever we go, and we will lead you to where the entertainment is. I'm out of practice at that.
Yeah. You know, Melanie was telling me over the weekend that sometimes, because like some of her musers will go, how are you watching it? I don't get to it and whatever, because it might not show up immediately on our FC3 page.
Okay.
So I think Melanie watches it through the official FC3
channel
group.
Oh, through the group. Okay.
Through that group. It goes to that. But I know if people see the event come up that says you have scheduled an event, I think if you click that or something, then you might be able to get there.
And always remember, just keep that in mind. That's very important. Moving on.
Is that from Willow?
I think so. I think that was a screen capture from Willow, which she was battling a troll. So there you have it.
He needs oil and fire.
Are we going to do any comic checking next week, do you think?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's
a TBD. We're going to play it by ear.
To be determined.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Well, we'll be back 1 week from today, talking about more stuff, all the news that's fit to nerd out on. There will be a Doctor Who discussion, as Peter has asked. I promise. As soon as I get a chance to see it, I will let you know what my thoughts are on it. So yes, the first of the 3 specials is this weekend. It's coming up.
Is it like the next 3 weekends, or
it's
how are they doing
every other? It feels like, because I think the middle one's going to be December 2nd, and then another one's going to be another week or 2 after that. So it feels like there's going to be a special every other week for a couple of weeks.
Well, if it's
with a Christmas special.
Well, if you said it was, we have to look at the schedule, but if it's this weekend and December 2nd, it's 1 weekend after the other.
Is it? Is December 2nd that fast?
Yeah.
Well, then it's every 3. It's every week for the next 3 weeks. I don't know.
That's why
we're winging it, people. We're winging it. I don't know. This is why I keep people around me, because I can't think of everything.
So we will have to just look at it. And I'm sure that if Elizabeth Rice was on or whatever, they would tell us exactly.
True. We also have Sticks and see, there we go. November 25th.
And Christmas Day.
Oh, Sticks. Thank you for the save on that one, buddy.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
We know somebody that could Google something or already had it.
So we'll have lots to talk about Doctor Who fans over the next couple of weeks. And for those of you who are in the United States and going to be celebrating Thanksgiving this week,
Happy
Happy
Turkey Day.
Thanksgiving. Have a great time with your family.
We are thankful for our friends and family.
I'm thankful for one of my besties who sits next to me every week.
And I am thankful for my bestie who is not with us today.
Yeah, we love you, Ann. And for President Dan, who's currently exploring Florida for the 5,973,274th time. Disney fanatic. Love it. And yes, remember that Doctor Who will be on Disney Plus, and we're thankful for you, Danny. Yeah. So take a moment to look at the positive side of things and to enjoy stuff that you really love, and to make sure you hug people, and make sure you say hi to folks, even if you don't know who they are. Just say hi to people. Yeah, like Tanya just said, hi everyone, right? And we love you. We wish you all the best. And on behalf of the entire Mighty Monkey crew, have a great one. Have a great week. Have a safe week. We'll talk to you again next week.
Ba-dum-bum.
Higher, further, faster, baby.